We smashed captaincy last game week with Kane over Haaland. Let's see if we can smash it again. We're actually going into game week 12 with only one captaincy blank this season. Let's start by building the shortlist. First up is Kane against United, then we've got Salah against West Ham, and finally Trossard in a nice easy fixture against Forest. Both Salah and Trossard have the home advantage, and they benefit from being midfielders because they get an extra point per goal scored and the clean sheet point potential as well. Let's delve into the non-penalty stats per 90 minutes for this season. It's actually Trossard who's got the most return points per 90 minutes, and he's overperforming his underlying stats massively. If you watch enough of my videos, you'll know that the expected metrics are better at projecting the future return points than the actual return points themselves. So in this case, it's actually Trossard who's got the least promising numbers. And despite Salah's return points being the lowest, it's actually his numbers that are the most promising. Trossard's output will regress at some point in the near future, and the same applies to Kane as well. To be fair to the Spurs forward, if he was a midfielder, his figures on the screen would be higher. That's because he gets 20% less points per goal scored and 20% less on XG as well. Okay, so they're the non-penalty stats. Let's take a look at the set pieces. Kane's on penalty duties for Spurs, Salah's a dedicated penalty taker for Liverpool, and Trossard's not on pens for Brighton. Kane's on direct free kicks. With Salah, it depends if Trent's on the pitch or not. As for Trossard, McAllister's the main man on them, but he does take them as well. None of the three players on the shortlist take indirect free kicks or corners. Let's take a look at the probability of each player scoring or assisting. These odds are based on the assumption that each player plays 90 minutes. We'll review the expected minutes later on in the video. Salah's got the best anytime goal scorer odds with 53%, he's 13% ahead of Kane, and he's got the best anytime assist odds with 30%, he's 2% ahead of Trossard. Therefore, the Egyptian's got by far the best chance of success if he plays the full match. The points projections also back this up. He absolutely towers over his competitors. He's got the highest figure overall with 7.4 on Fantasy Football Scout. He's also got the highest over on Fantasy Football Fix with 6.4. By comparing the opposition's defence, we can see why Trossard made it onto the shortlist. It's because the Forest defence is so bad. Kane's opponents United have had a worse defence than Salah's opponents West Ham up until this point, but they have improved at the back. Another thing to consider is that Salah gets to play at Anfield with the home advantage, whilst Kane has to travel away to Old Trafford. This is all displayed through the clean sheet odds. Before we draw up a conclusion, let's carry out a quick risk assessment. All three players played midweek. Kane and Trossard get an extra day's worth of rest. You can see that in Kane's expected minutes, but not Trossard's. I'm not 100% certain why his expected minutes are lower. I think it's in the press conference where the manager said that Lallana's going to play. Obviously that means an attacker's going to drop out. That would be Trossard or Gross. I understand that the fixtures are congested and it's a good opportunity to rest him in the easiest game of the season, but to be fair, he played 68 minutes in his last match and he's one of their best players as well. Surely he plays. Either way, there's a confirmation from the risk assessment that there's no concerns over Kane or Salah's minutes. I'm sure we can all agree that the best captain for Game Week 12 is Mo Salah. Thanks for watching. I've got a locked in team selection video coming out very soon. I'll give you a clue, I brought Salah in, that's one of my free transfers. I've also took a hit as well. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so you don't miss any of these videos.